Hello, this is the mighty Lord Gamerson, and welcome to the second Gamerson Direct, hosted by me, the mighty Lord Gamerson, and that new intern of mine, what's his name? Here are today's top stories. The Tokyo Game Show 2020 is almost here. The Japanese event will be held from September 23rd till the 27th. This large expo is typically held at the Makuhari Messe in Chiba, Japan. However, due to the beer virus, the event is held online this year. This pleases Lord Gamerson at least somewhat. An online event is better than no event. E3. Most of the focus is on Japanese games, which makes sense because it's usually a live convention in Japan. Us round eyes are welcome, but there's usually not a lot there. Lord Gamerson recently found out, thanks to Capcom Dev 1 Twitter account, that one of the most anticipated next-gen games is getting some spotlight at this year's TGS. Resident Evil 8 Village will be featured on September 27th. While we don't know what Capcom is planning, I'm sure new information will be released about this highly anticipated title. Microsoft's next known Xbox event will also be held at TGS 2020. Microsoft is not planning any new next-gen content, so I'm not really sure what the point of their involvement would be at this point. But this is a major event for them, and it's worth reporting on. But just because they're not reviewing or releasing any game information doesn't mean that they won't release information about their consoles or, their Game Pass. Perhaps that's what it is. Perhaps it's all about their Game Pass. Because that's what really they're all about now, isn't it? Microsoft these days is really more about their Game Pass than their systems. It seems that they're not really putting too much emphasis on the Microsoft Xbox Series X. No, not so much. I think they're just doing this generation pretty much just, they got to keep it going. The Game Pass isn't quite ready yet, so they got to keep their hats in the ring. At least one more generation before they can transition fully to the Game Pass. Sony has said that they plan on acquiring more studios and releasing even more frequent first-party exclusives for this next generation. This is pretty exciting news. Sony's first-party titles are known for their overwhelming awesomeness. They already own some impressive studios such as Insomniac Games, Sucker Punch, Guerrilla Games, Media Molecule, Naughty Dog, and not to mention all their own studios such as SIE Japan, SIE London, SIE Manchester, SIE XDev Europe, and SIE Bend. This move seems like a no-brainer next step for Sony's plans of world domination. Make it happen, Sony. It's time to splash that cash. This news has Lord Gamerson worried. Sony may be strongly hinting at major launch shortages for the PS5 console. Sony has unveiled an upcoming pre-order system, and it's a strange one. Sony needs to deem you worthy first, and then you will have the honor to purchase a PlayStation 5 at launch. You must submit an application, and they will take a look at your credentials. They will deem you worthy based on such things like your trophy count, how many games you've beaten and played, how many other services you've purchased and or downloaded, how much time you spent hugging your PS4 after hours, and all sorts of little things like that. The saddest and most disappointing news here is that Lord Gamerson will not be eligible to even be worthy. Sony, it seems at this moment, only thinks Americans are worthy enough for this high honor. For shame, Sony. Lord Gamerson is the worthiest of all, just because I am Lord Gamerson. Sony should send the mighty Lord Gamerson a free PS5 at launch, in apology for this dishonor. Anyway, personal dishonor aside, this is some troubling news for those of us who want to get a PS5 at launch. Sony would only be pulling lottery stunts such as this for one of two reasons. Reason one, and the most likely reason, is the system will be rare day one. There will be shortages that will cause much rioting and looting, and maybe even World War III. Reason 2 is this may be a little marketing stunt. Systems will be available, but they're just having a little fun, feeling all self-important and all that. God damn Sony Globe. Lord Gamerson is a little salty at being so personally dishonored by Sony.
Now, this is a bit of rumor and speculation, but according to Mike Rouse, a former developer for Sony's London studio, Sony has a plan for the old PS2 IP, The Getaway. It looks as though a relaunch of that series is in the works for the PlayStation 5. This is information Mike got from contacts he still has at the studio. The Getaway is about two character stories and how they collide. One character is an ex-gangster whose son has been kidnapped, and now he's got to do some naughty things to make sure his son gets to stay alive. The other story follows disgraced police officer Frank Carter as he tries to wipe out a gang in which you are currently employed. The stories clash and all sorts of wacky shenanigans take place.